Hi, in this tutorial I'm going to talk about external key generation that is available in Serial Key Manager. Before we start, I would like to introduce you to the idea behind external key generation. External key generation is a way to generate new keys without actually sending the password along with the request. So the request doesn't contain any sensitive data that you would actually have to use and store in the application if you would have used the offline version of SKGL API. It also allows you to generate keys through any interface, through any environment. You can generate keys through another application online. You can generate new keys using your phone. You can generate new keys through Windows, through Linux, through Macintosh. There are no limits to the platform, and that's a good thing, and partly because it all is based on web requests, and the only thing you have to work with is the request, but not trying to include an API or anything else, any piece of code in order to make this work. So only simple web request. Now I would like to show you how this all works. I'm currently logged into my account at serialkeymanager.com, and the first thing I'm going to do now is to press Generate Keys Online. It's a link below more information. You press there and you will be redirected to the support page, and actually the content of this article is what I'm going to talk about. So if there are some things that I haven't mentioned or anything like that, please feel free to look through this article, because it contains a lot of information that you have to know and keep in mind when generating new keys. But what it actually says is that there is a page called the Gen Key. So if we open it in a new tab, we don't really get anything because we haven't specified a request here. But if you press Help here, you will see some really useful information. This information will only appear if you are logged in. If you're not logged in into serialkeymanager.com, you will not be able to see all this information here. But since I'm currently logged in, I see some information like UID, PID, private key, etc. So it kind of gives you a starting point when dealing with this feature. As the tutorial tells me to do, the first thing you have to do, so let's close this down. The first thing you have to do is to go to the account and manage. That's the first thing. And the second thing is to activate external key generation. So activate. Once this is done, you'll see a confirmation text above the page, and please feel free to deactivate it at any time. So if there is something that happened that shouldn't have happened, you simply press deactivate the feature and it's deactivated. No application, none of them will be able to generate new keys, even if they have your private key. So this is kind of where you have the turn off button. But now I choose to activate the feature, and the second thing I have to do is see my current private key. You do that by pressing the blue link there. So this is my current private key. If you at any time if you don't really want to deactivate the feature, but you would like to change the private key, you can do so by generating a new one. And there is no limit to that. You can just generate as many private keys as you like. Now, once I'm done, so maybe we should go back to this help page, since it contains a lot of useful information. Let's see what we actually have to do. So we have to pass in a UID. In this case it's 2. You could actually get user ID by pressing this button here, but it's so good here that you already get that information on that page. So what is a web request? Well, a web request, we can kind of simulate it using something called get method. It's the one you might have seen on web pages where you have a question mark and then you type something is equal to something and equals to something. So that's kind of the get method. So in this case, simply paste the first parameter, UID. You separate new parameter by this and sign. So now I have a UID. Let's open it in a new tab, and let's see what we have. And the other thing, we have to remove the help here, like this. And the first thing we see is that external key generation is not active, or the private key was incorrect. So the second thing here is to put the private key. I think we had the private key somewhere, but if we've lost it, we simply press here and we get the private key that we had. So now enter the private key is equal to something. Finally, now this works. So we are kind of logged into the system with this private key. Notice that you don't actually have to use the password for that particular product, which is sensitive information, and you don't need to use your login details to generate new keys. And that's a good thing, since you can be quite flexible. You can change the private key at any time. You can deactivate the feature. No one will actually be able to access neither your account nor will they have access to your password that you have used to generate keys. What it says here now is that we need to have a product ID, and there are some links here. Well, let's do like this. I'm going to create a new product, calling it external, and the password, well, what can we do? Hello world. And the important thing here is to put it to be is public. That's another thing to keep in mind. If we don't put it to be is public, the product is not going to be validated, and you can test it on your own. You'll see that it doesn't work if is public is set to be false. Another way, by the way, to kind of deactivate the feature for a specific product. But now I'm done, and as you can see, I don't have any keys at all. I would like to now as you can see, we separated by the and sign, and now, as the page suggests, we have to use. I think I've lost the page. Oh well, I think we can find it like this. We type ext and we type help. Hopefully. Oh wait, no. Let's see a minute. Here I have the link. Oh yeah, again key. Okay, like this. The PID is your product ID. So I'm going to put the product ID PID to be equal to, and the PID is here. It's 134. So we put that product ID PID is 134. We copy the link, and if everything is right, we should be able to generate new keys. And there is something wrong. Well, what is wrong? The features are not defined, and it's not that hard to fix. You simply copy the string here. It's all done for you. You press and you have a new key. Now let's refresh this page, and we see a new key. That's kind of cool. That was everything that was actually required to generate a new key. And you can read more. You can read about how to set a time. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff here. You can set time to be equal to 45, and since I know that notes will actually specify some notes, so I can request, for instance. So generated by request, like this. Refreshing this page, and now we can see that this key was generated by a request, and it's 45 days. It's going to be valid in 45 days. There are some other variables, and these variables you actually find when you generate a new key through this interface. I mean, you have all this when you go to the advanced tab. You have this automatic activation, trial upon activation, and maximum number of machines that you'd like your key to be valid on. All those features can also be sent with these parameters, although they are optional. So what we've talked about today is that external key generation allows you to generate keys by simple web request without actually providing the password, neither for the actual key nor for your user account that you use to log into Serial Key Manager. So it's a way to generate new keys from any platform without providing the sensitive information in the web request. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and as you can see, I've used now let's see if we can go back here. Yes, I've used this article as the starting point. So you find that link below this video. And if you would have any questions, please feel free to contact me on YouTube by commenting, or simply press contact on the support website, and I will return to you as soon as I can. Thank you very much, and I hope you will enjoy this, and good luck.